It's great to have friends. Welcome back to Writer's Theory. I'm James Winterthorn, and you're here for the 49th day of my attempt to write a novel in less than 90. Yesterday, we left off with our hero group encountering two unknown writers who are Native Americans. They're Kiowa, and they're attempting to negotiate with this group, at least to discover more about them. So that's where we left off and where we will pick up today's writing session. And I wanted yesterday's scene to be uncertain, be a little tense, and I want to carry that forward with today's writing. So let's just get into the first part of day 49. So the Kiowa, they were tracking Mercer's group basically the whole time they were down there. So even though they had the incident of firing the weapon in the night, it seemed like they were aware where they were anyway. The concern before was that the rest of Garrett's men might come up from behind. So here we have Calm Watcher and Mercer in an interaction with the Kiowa. Calm Watcher's just kind of become my utility knife character, where he is able to speak and translate the Native American languages for the reader and for Mercer. So this is a lot of just dialogue to explain what's happening and give us some information about who these guys are and what their deal is. So basically just confirming that they are working for Garrett and by extension Shaw. And so they're just working through the details of how they can give them this gift of the horses and have it not just have them, the Kiowa, not be in breach of contract or just be in danger for not fulfilling their obligation to Shaw and Garrett. So they're still working out negotiations here. I wanted this to feel like a real interaction, and I'm juggling between the only dialogue that we can really hear is between Calm Watcher and Mercer, which is the translation of the more important conversation happening between Calm Watcher and these Kiowa writers. So that is my effort here, is to have the dialogue be very clear about what's happening and still get the point across, still tell the story the way that I want it done. I think I'm doing a pretty good job here. And let's see how the rest of day 49 goes. So basically they're going to trade the horses for a couple days head start ahead of Garrett and his men. And so they've come back and they're reporting to now Alvarez and Fireheart about what happened up there. And now as a writer, I don't have to worry about those horses anymore. And I don't have to keep track of them. Make sure they're watered and fed. And so they're back to moving again and trying to stay ahead of this group that is intent on capturing or killing them. So they're wrapping up the conversation and the deal with the Kiowa. And now they can start moving one more time. Lots of journeying and horseback riding in this story, which of course makes sense because this is a period piece, or it's a historical fiction, and if they're going to be traveling between different cities and towns, and the journey along the way is part of the story, well, then of course we're going to be witness to that. I just didn't know when I started this just how much of my writing effort would be in telling the story as they rode, through the wilderness from town to town. It's very interesting. I'm learning a lot about just like telling a story in different environments and different settings, and just what this kind of adventure story really looks like, and how to keep it exciting along the way, because it'd get real boring just talking about what each place looked like and how they felt as they rode horses through it. So I want to keep some engagement, some meaningful interactions happen during all this. But yeah, I didn't know what I was getting into in terms of the journeying aspect of writing a Western the way that I am anyway. So with that, let's do today's line of the day. You know that Shaw only takes from people. Your people will be no different. So this is one of the closing things that Mercer says to the Kiowa as they try to, as they stated they want to honor their contract with Shaw, and Mercer telling them that Shaw doesn't play nice and wouldn't honor his side of the contract. So I like that. It was just a bit of advice that might play a role later in the story. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll wait and find out. So that's day 49. I'm glad to be through this portion of this sequence. There was something about this that took a lot for me to push through. And I think it's because this wasn't driving the story forward the way that I wanted it to. And it took me a minute to just really bear down and get this written. I like how it turned out, but it was a little bit of a struggle for me to write. So I like it. I'm glad that I'm done writing it, though. So with that, tomorrow we're going to have our hero group push on, and we're going to set up the final action sequence of the story. And that's going to start in tomorrow's writing. So if you'd like to see that, please like and subscribe. If you click the bell, you'll be notified when my videos drop. And I'll see you tomorrow.